England, Angleland, home of the football game, which we can't play anymore. Yeah. All right, rock and roll time. You guys like rock and roll, don't you? Say yes. Thank you very much.
We're in Manchester tonight. Are there any memories you have of Manchester or the North in general?
Well, I used to live up here, you know, for quite a bit, yeah. I used to live in Ashton-under-Lyne, which is outside Manchester, and then I lived in Stockport for a while. There's 56 of us in one room. It wasn't even a very big room either. But we were, you know, needed a bit of shelter from the icy blast outside. So we chummed up, you know. Then there's one guy with a chick there. Imagine, the lights go out and all the eyes open, you know, and the ears grow out. I don't think the pair of those four fuckers ever got laid.
Can you make it summer in future? It's bloody freezing.
It was our flat originally, me and another geezer. And then, you know, one of our friends came over to stay the night and kind of hung around, and then he had three mates who came in, you know, it was like, and then people start pointing it out, you know, you can crash there, you know, they don't care, so.
This is pre-Hawk.
Oh yeah, this is my younger days, yeah. Stockport, Heatonmore Road, I forget the number. I'm sure it still looks terrible, same as it was. It was a terrible fucking flight. I once tried to light the gas and it came out, took my eyebrows off. You know, the gas thing, heater. Oh, it was all kinds of fun then. Oh, we tried to steal a bottle of milk off this doorstep once, me and a guy called Moses. You know, hair and beard, and obvious. Right? So he had his hand poised over the bottle and the door opened. A police superintendent in full uniform looked down at him and he went, "Hi!" Like a shot, you know.
My message to Lemmy, will you please retire and pack it in so I can save some money every year on these tours?
What do you think it is about British English bands that sets them apart?
Well, they're trying to get out of Britain, most of them. So they're, you know, desperate, like. No, it's like any place that's a miserable environment, you know, like drizzle all the time and dark, and you wake up to like miserable clouds all the time. Especially where I grew up in Wales. I mean, Christ, it's like rains almost all the time. You go to California, you think you died and went to heaven, you know. And like Australia's right off the map, you know, the needle don't go that far, right? So it's, I don't know, it makes you want to be loud.
Happy birthday, Motörhead. Yeah! Rock and roll! Yeah. You are the road crew!
Do you have a love-hate relationship with England then?
No, not at all. No. I quite enjoy touring here, but I just don't want to live here no more, because there's several other places I'd rather live, Mostly warmer, significantly warmer, but that's most places, And if it's warm, see, girls wear less clothing as a result of that, which is also fine with me, and everything's half price. Any questions? Because the England I was born into and grew up in isn't here anymore. It's gone. Doesn't exist. It's like another planet altogether, I come from a Britain where everybody was cheerful, not fucking resentful,
And when you...
Swing in London, yeah.
Yeah.
And it really swung. I helped push it.
I'm from Japan and to Manchester to see Motörhead, and Lemmy is my god.
Like the Beatles wrote good lyrics later in their time, Early on it was all I love you, love me, love, and that, so. But they were writing for a certain market, and then later on they got like more in control of what they did. And that was a great tradition they started. I think they started it really, the British lyric. Because before that it was all covers of American songs, And you never got anybody writing their own songs. The British can't do that. American record, copy that. It's funny. And if we did, it was terrible, Like, gee whiz, it's you, Great British lyric of all time.
Tommy Steele kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're the same age as them. We're 35 this year.
Tell me any really great memories of English tours and Manchester, anything.
Well, you can put on a DVD,
No, just anything. As extreme as you like.
Oh, there've been a few, I mean, gigs, like you step back to admire your work off the back of a 10-foot stage, I remember with the Rockin' Vickers, Moggsy stepped back with his bass into a hole where they stored chairs at the back of the stage and fell into a chair. And his legs were sticking up in his bass, right? You couldn't see anything else. I was on the floor, like, And the thing with Stacia, that time, Nicky come on stage at Harlow Newtown, and the front of the stage was all wet because it was raining, because it overlapped the shell, So that was all wet, and the rest of the stage was dry. So we were all playing away the opening song. And Nick Turner runs on dressed as a frog, right? Green leotard, green tights, a pair of black boots and a frog head, with his saxophone around his neck. And brown patches daubed on it to look like, And I mean, it was really quite interesting, because his body isn't like a frog, It wasn't like anything much, really. And he came on and I said to Dave, isn't it, because there's a moat at the front of the stage, you see. I said to Dave, isn't it bad somebody pushed that frog in that pond? And as I said it, he went skate and went into the fucking moat, And I felt one of my ribs go, And then Stacia ran out and she's 6 foot and she got 52-inch tits. And she tries to pull him out and went in with him. And that was the end of it for me. I was on my knees, I had to crawl off stage. Fuck's sake, don't do that again, I can't stand anymore. That was a great moment, you never forget that,
I just love the life I lead, another beer is what I need. We are the road crew.
I don't like bands that involve themselves in politics, because it should be separate. Music should be an escape from that shit. God knows politics is in everything else. Can't we keep the music without having bloody politics in it as well? That was funny, the Clash, the Sandinistas, they went to Northern Ireland, like part of the people. And then they had the Royal Ulster Constabulary guarding them, 2 ranks of them around the Clash, save them from the proletariat friends.
They've been going for 35 years. I've only been there for 32. So I'm a latecomer to this fantastic band. But Lemmy is God. Whoa!
The early Motörhead tours we were on, used to take turns in the front. There was 2 seats next to the driver, of course, and then in the back, one of them box vans with the We used to lie on the top of the equipment in sleeping bags with the flashlight stuck here, reading a book and all that. But they were good times because when you're like that, it's solidarity within the band, you know. Like it's really us against the world, you know. Like, that's it, tight unit, you know. Because no girlfriend wants to come on the road in those circumstances. Like. No girlfriend I ever met wants to lie on top of the gear reading the book by flashlight. So it's only later when you get the nice bus and shit, you know. So there's no distractions, like, you know, until after the show, of course.
And
then who knows?
And what about the progression of Motörhead? Like, you know, tours got bigger and bigger, and then you have hits, and then you superstars. And then how did that change?
And then we went straight down the tour. Yeah. Slowly made a comeback. It's taken 20 years to do the comeback now. Well, you know, it was great fun, that big success. But, I mean, I woke up one day and this guy came on the phone, he said, I was in New York. He said, you're number one, straight in at number one. I said, oh, call me later, man, will you? I'm asleep. And put the phone down. I didn't even remember who it was. You know. And, yeah, straight in at number one. I still think that's the only one that ever did that. First, the only live album ever to go straight in at number one. And that was in the real charts, not these silly, you know, like genre charts, you know. What's the point of being number one in the heavy metal chart? Captive audience, you know. And those people are going to buy all the records in that chart anyway, so it's not a mark of any greatness to me, you know. To be in the national chart against every and all comer, you know, that's good. That's worth something.
Okay, well I think we wind it up there then, because you've got your sound check.
Sure.